What's going on, people, and welcome to the Blue Steel Podcast Show. I'm your co-host, LV Live, along with my co-host. Let's try it differently this time, Jeff. All right, I think I got it on the right side this time. People, thank you for coming through to our show. Like I said, this is going to be our new way of doing things. Also, too, please hit that like, share, subscribe button right at the bottom of the YouTube channel. I think it's on your right-hand side. Also, too, please come through and check out my boy Jeff. He continues to put this out on Facebook. LV Live, JB Presents, Locker Room Talk. It's great content. We definitely want to bring some of that content onto the show. So please continue to hit us back with those things. But listen, let's get straight into it. Another quick hitter we got. Let's talk about last night's episodes on the great doc series, The Last Dance, chronicling MJ's and the 98 Bulls, the second three-peat. Jeff, what did you think about last night, sir?
I thought it was very good, just like last Sunday, the Sunday before last, I should say. Very well put together. I love how they go back and kind of bring people full circle because not everybody knows, back history, the players, and they did Phil Jackson as well. I loved how they showed that kind of fusion between him and Rodman, them both being kind of odd players, so that made Phil, and of all the things that is great about Phil always is able to connect with everybody individually.
Right.
Which makes, we've all probably had coaches that can't do that, or they may try, they're not really good at it, and he seems like he's a master of it. Those personalities got to be tough. All that was going on with them that last year, and they held it together, and they still won the championship is amazing. So I know people like to say they're the best players, but that's not always guaranteed to win. That's for sure.
Right.
But overall, I thought it was great, man. It's just as good. Makes you want to watch 5 and 6, and it's been excellent. What you think?
I totally agree, man. I just wish that this could have went back further. You know what I'm saying? I wish it could have started off to when the doc series started to when they did the first three-peat to this three-peat. You know what I'm saying? It could have been like 20 doc series in regards to this. It keeps your eyes glued to it, man. That hour is not enough. You wish that it could be 2 hours an episode. That's how great of content it is. And I think also, too, it's the whole it's the thing of Michael Jordan. It's just that ambiance he had. No one really knew about Mike. You knew some things, but not everything. I think also, too, what it did also, too, is it really showed his disdain for the Pistons. We knew how bad it was. We didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. Mike don't let nothing go.
Nah, he doesn't. He doesn't. And how it's still carrying over till today. But, as you know, Jeff, man, you got to go through those bumps. You know what I'm saying? Those bumps and bruises. You know what I'm saying? Those potholes in the road, those things to get to where you want to get to. That's what the Pistons were for him. Like I said in my last episode, to me, the Pistons are the one that made him into the Jordan we feared. You know what I mean? He was good. He was competitive. But now he was a total player because of the triangle. It broke that down last night as well. I'm sure you pretty much can get into that a little bit more. But the triangle was really, really, really what made Jordan put him over the hill, man, as far as excellence. Jeff, what do you say about that, sir?
Yeah, the offense, because it's predicated off sharing the ball. And even they showed that one episode, I think it was episode 4, where they beat the Lakers. And he's like, Paxson's open. Get him to rock. You know what I mean? And then he started – and that was in 91. So – and then you got, 7, 8 years later with the series is based on primarily. So, Mike was always a great scorer. He led, like Phil said, you led the league in scoring 4 years in a row. You got no rings. So, you have other professionals on the team that can play as well. So that system and Phil's whole style is predicated. And the funny thing is, he's literally coached 2 of the most ball-dominant players ever in the system. They won, and they didn't win without him. So it shows you the system worked, and then you have buy-in, obviously, from the players. So, that was awesome too, man. It's just been really good. A lot of, I've heard about the story with Mike getting Rodman out out of the bed, literally. I heard about that before. I don't know where they was at. I don't know if they was in Vegas or wherever they were, but I heard about that. A lot of people didn't know about that. I've heard about
Right.
that before. But I didn't know he was gone that long. Obviously, you wouldn't have known that. It was, we was young, and there was no social media like that. So I didn't know. It was just funny. They put 48, and then they just kept going with the hours. That was funny. But Mike said he's not coming back, and he didn't. So,
Right.
But the respect that they have for each other, the admiration of a team, and the fact that they knew they needed Dennis.
Right.
And, he stepped it up at the time of the season when they needed it. And it was funny because they didn't apologize. He's just like, I need a cigar. And Mike was like, that was like him saying, my bad. And they moved on, So shows you don't got to be best friends with your teammates to just go out on the court and perform.
Right. We have one common goal, man. One common goal.
Yep.
And that's what brings a team together. And I think that's what Phil Jackson was trying to teach Mike. Jordan didn't really understand that. But believe it or not, as much as I said it took Jordan over the hump, as far as making him, probably the greatest basketball player ever, I think it took Scotty to a different level,
Yeah, definitely.
It really pretty much put him in all-star status. It made him one of the 50th greatest players of the world. You know what I mean? Of NBA history, that triangle system, because it was able to use Scotty's strengths. Like they stated last night. That's when it was created, the point forward, because he was able to use his guard skills and use every aspect of his skill set. The triangle did for him. And it made them unbeatable, man. It made it literally unbeatable. If people could go back and, if you were, you and me and Jeff's age, we ain't gonna tell our age, but, if you could be the age that we were and back in our primes when we were teenagers and we were watching these guys play, Jeff, I never felt that they were going to lose. And I'm a Knicks fan. I was hoping we beat them. But in the back of my mind, I knew that MJ or Pippen was going to find a way to win. Some guys, as you know, some guys, when the pressure is on, their heart beats fast. Some guys, when the pressure is on, their heart beats slow, man. Mm-hmm. And that triangle system made all those guys' heart beat slow. Whether it was the beginning of the game or winning time, they were still the same because they stayed true to the system. And that was Phil Jackson's expertise. And who thought that he was in the background while Doug Collins was there talking to Tex Winters, and they was pretty much getting a plan together. Like, yo, we about to take this over.
That's
right?
Funny you said that. I did not know Phil Jackson was on staff. I didn't know that. I did not know he was on the staff then.
Right.
I thought they brought him, which they did, but I thought he was brand new. I didn't know he was on the staff. Or Tex. Either one of them.
Right. But on the sideline with Tex Winters figuring out this is the best way to do this.
Right.
And how, Doug Collins pretty much ostracized Tex Winters and said, yo, man, we don't need that stuff, man. Get out of here. Go on the sideline. You can't even be on the bench no more.
Right.
Right? And Phil said,
Tex is
hey,
a Hall of Famer now.
Right. And Phil said, hey, man, let me see what you got over there. He said, yo, this is what I'm trying to tell this guy. He ain't listening.
Right.
And Phil said, you know what? This is going to be over the hill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Another big thing that I thought was critical, Jeff. I think this was this was pretty much the main thing I got from it. I know the Rodman piece was touched on. I thought that was powerful. But the main thing I got from it, Jeff, from me being a sports guy, I played it all my life, and you as well. Excuse me. The thing that's missing today, Jeff, in the NBA, and a lot of sports too, is that whole thing called rivals, Jeff. You need a rival. That's what we play for. You play for teams or guys that you want to beat. This is the guy I got to beat. And what comes with those rivals is a dislike. And it's okay to dislike your rival. I had a lot of rivals that I hated because I didn't just want to beat them mentally. I wanted to beat them physically, man. I did on the football field and on the basketball field. And I think that's in today's game, that's kind of lost. And I think that's what the Pistons gave MJ. And I think that they propelled him to the point where they said, listen, man, if you want to beat us, You got to take your game to a higher level. You got to get stronger here, and you got to get stronger in the gym. Because coming how you coming is not going to do it. And your rival usually does that for you. They push you to the limit, to the brink, to be competitive. People had issues with Isaiah and them walking off the court. I didn't have issues with that, man. You know why? Because that's them showing, hey, man, look, we don't like you. You don't like us. So why should we front like we buddies and we going to shake? I understand the sportsmanship part of it, but really that's not how it was back then. If you didn't like a person, you ain't talk to him. It was no socially correct thing. It was none of that. And here's the thing. It was respected. That's okay. They went their way, we went ours. But you know what we won today. We got the W. We beat them. And you beat your rival. And I think that when this series is done, this doc series, I think before, Jeff, when it was like this with Jordan and LeBron, I think it's going to start getting like this. Even further, it's going to be Jordan. Because I think last night separated him because it showed that even when it was tough, even when it was hard, he didn't give up. And he didn't say, oh, I'm going to Los Angeles with Magic, man, because this is too much. I don't believe in what Phil Collins is saying. What Phil Jackson is saying, not giving me the ball and all this other stuff. I ain't with that. Now I'm trying to beat Detroit. I'm going over there with LA. It wasn't like that. You had to push yourself to the limit, Jeff. And you know what made you do that? Your rival, because you wanted to beat those guys so bad. And I think, Jeff, in today's time with the kumbaya and everybody wants to be friends, I think that's kind of getting lost in sports today, Jeff. What say you, brother?
Okay, so a couple of things. I disagree with you. And I tell you why. Would you say the Bulls and the Celtics are rivals? We're rivals then.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
No, they weren't rivals.
You don't think the Bulls and the Celtics is rivals?
Back then?
Yeah.
No.
It wouldn't be now. All right, I disagree with you there because definitely I don't think they're rivals in terms, but Michael was coming up. Mike dropped 63 in the playoffs. In between the games, he went to golf with Danny Ainge, which we learned in this thing. I don't think that I think the Bulls, I think Larry Bird, I don't think Larry Bird would have did any of that. The whole point of bringing that up is these guys are not, they don't all hate each other. Like, I think we get caught up nowadays because guys know each other a little better. Now, there's some people that didn't like I don't think MJ and Isaiah like each other.
No, they
still
don't.
think Mike likes each other.
No, they don't.
I think they have a certain amount of respect, but Mike doesn't like Isaiah. I don't think it's the same way as much the other way.
Right.
But you also got to remember, Rodman played with them. John Sally, even Edwards played with them.
Right.
So I think we get caught up a lot of times in like, oh, these guys all hated each other. All these dudes are soft now because they friends. Like, these guys are friends. They went to golf the next day after Mike just dropped 63 on you.
Right.
It was killing you. Matter of fact, I think the Bulls lost that game, but James was watchable, trying to watch them. So I think it's a little. I think how like your parents, grandparents, people older. I used to walk 10 miles to school in the snow with no shoes. I think that's the kind of thing it is now. These guys are competitive, of course. Now Isaiah and Magic loved each other. They gave each other a little kiss on the cheek. Now they had issues that they got over later, and I don't even remember what all those issues was, but not all these guys hated each other. So I don't think it's as extreme on either side. Like, I think some of these guys don't like each other now. Some do. They're a little more friendly, which I don't mind. You go on the court and compete, I can shake your hand. I didn't like how how Detroit walked off, and I didn't like how the Celtics walked off, which is a big thing for me. I think that's just literally the image that Detroit had. I didn't remember Boston walking off.
Right. I remember that. I remember that.
Once I seen the clip, I remember it. But
right.
It's not viewed the same way. And part of that has got to do with Mike. Part of it's got to do with the teams that walked off.
Right.
The Boston, the way those players was perceived in Detroit.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right.
You beat me, shake my hand. You ain't got to be all hugging, kissing. I'm going to talk to you in the tunnel and shake my hand. I shook your hand when y'all beat us twice, 3 years in a row.
Right.
Well, like Mike said, I didn't like that at all. I never did like it.
Right.
I wouldn't go as far as what Horace Grant called everybody, but I do get I mean, I get why they walked off and why they did it. I understand the other side. I think you should always show respect to sportsmanship. If
Right, of
somebody
course.
literally just disrespects you, I think you should always show that in anything athletic-wise. So, not saying I totally disagree with you, but I don't think it's as extreme as a lot of us like to make it seem nowadays with guys not liking each other. But I do get it. And, they was kind of doing the same thing. But, like Isaiah said, he kind of regrets doing that
Right,
later in life. Bill Laimbeer don't, but
right,
I think Isaiah does.
right,
So but that hurt Isaiah more than anything. That
right,
didn't hurt Bill Laimbeer. You know what I mean? So
right,
Zeke, even through history, has been hurt, damaged the most by because it was his team.
right.
By
Well,
walking off the game, by walking off.
right. Well, he's
And,
been because you got to understand who Isaiah was back then, right? He was an icon. He was an icon
yeah.
like any other.
But I think in history that's hurt him.
No, but
Like you don't hear.
but
You know what I mean?
that's what I mean. That's why it's hurt him so much because of who, what his legacy was.
Oh yeah, right. Gotcha.
And who he was and how they looked at him. I mean, I understand you disagree with me. I mean, I think that's great, man. But I love it, and I the reason why I stand true to it because they're being true to who they are. Horace Grant saying what he said, he's being true to how he felt. I can't deny that. The Pistons were being true to how they felt. They didn't like those guys. Now, 30 years later, right? Of course, you kind of get an understanding of maybe I should have a different approach. But in that moment and at that time, they were being true to how they felt about those guys.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics were being true to how they felt about them. For me as an athlete and as a ball player, if you don't want to shake my hand, okay, fine, that's cool. I don't like you or dislike you it's the same for me because I understand that that's just where it is. Yes, he went golfing with Danny Ainge. He didn't go golfing with Larry Bird. He didn't go golfing with anybody else. So it was clear. The lines were clear. Like, listen, man, we cool, but I'm here to beat you. Like, we ain't here to be buddy-buddy. And that's okay. I think that when you have rivalries like that, that propels you a lot of times as an athlete. It really pushes you to the brink. And I know because I've been there. You have a guy or you have a team that you want to beat so bad, you're willing to put in the extra time to train for it. You just are. And I think that that's what propelled MJ. It propelled even the Pistons when they said that they wanted to beat the Celtics. It propelled Isaiah when he wanted to beat his best friend, Magic Johnson. He was fouling Magic, punching him in the face in games. They were the best of friends, but they were rivals, man. And that's what pushes you to the brink sometimes. And I think that at times, guys kind of lose sense of that because they don't want to win that bad. Some guys do. The one guy in today's time who I think has it and understands that is Russell Westbrook. He's got it all. He's got that in him. And he's got that fire in his belly. And God bless his soul, Kobe had it too. He understood that when we get between these lines, listen, it's off blood. And I mean, not to say it like that, but that I'm trying to win. And I think that when you have that with somebody, it pushes you and makes you the best athlete that you can be. And sometimes, believe it or not, Jeff, it just separates the top tier guys from the average guys. It just separates you, man. And I mean that's just my view on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. I don't like if you want to be great, you want to be great. And there's a lot of different things that'll push you. That's gonna be part of it. Right. Like I don't think that helps Russell Westbrook as far as being a player.
Right.
It actually hinders him because he doesn't know how to he needs a Phil Jackson to be able to control him.
Right.
Not control him, but be able to steer him. I guess is a better way to say it. So, but I get what you're saying.
Right. But listen, man. But I thought the doc series was fabulous. It's just so many nuances that it showed there. Even the bond that Robin and Phil Jackson had, because Phil Jackson used to be a Maverick. You know what I mean? A Maverick meaning, a type of guy that stood out from everybody else, would take risks, would do things that other people wouldn't do. So he was able to identify a lot with Dennis Rodman where a lot of people weren't. And I think that that's really what helped save the team. Because he was the catalyst. He was able to kind of like get everybody on the same page You know what I mean? It's like a puzzle. He was able to put the pieces together perfectly. And believe it or not, Jeff, he used that same type of skill set in dealing with Shaq and Kobe. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
With everybody.
and making that magic work. So that's where you really have to look to him and his skill set as far as I don't want to say mental health, but dealing with guys like that and dealing with egos. Because that's the biggest thing. You got the top tier dudes who egos are out of this world. How do you bring them down to where they're able to see it's not about me, it's about team? Because Michael Jordan said, there's no iron team, there's an iron win.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Kobe saying was like, there's no iron team. Kobe was like, there's an ME in that MFer. You know
right. Like Shaq said, right.
That's what Kobe
said. Funny, man. They got that same mentality, yo.
So I'm just saying. So Jeff, how do you, and I'll pose it to you, how do you deal with those type of egos in the locker room, those type of alpha dogs? How do you deal with that, Jeff?
I don't know. That's why I feel it was great, man. One of the things that made it feel great. So, you know, literally, that's what made it feel great. One of the things that made them great. So being able to do that. At that level, that's a big part of it, being able to deal with, you know, you got the best athletes in the world, especially, you know, NBA players or superstars, mega superstars, you know, MJ making $30 million when the average player is probably making like $1 million, like $4 or $5 million. He's a you know how big a star MJ was at that point, and being able to handle that, you know, all that stuff, man, it was, you know, that's amazing. So.
Yeah, it was. Hey, man, great show, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, people, thank you for coming through, man, to our quick hitter, man. We truly, truly appreciate it. We just thank you for all the love and support. Once again, this is the way me and Jeff going to be doing it, man. We're going to be definitely trying to get guests on, try to get some callers in. You know, we taking it day by day, man. We're definitely going to be trying to bring more shows like this on a weekly basis. It's just great stuff that we're just going to, you know, try to bring out to you guys, great content, especially with Jeff is putting out, guys. You guys got to check that out. What Jeff is putting out on a daily basis. LV Live, JB Presents Locker Room Talk. So many great content, so much, you guys. If the people that are chiming in and putting your comments, hey, send us an email with those comments. You know what I'm saying? At BLUESTEELShow@gmail.com, BLUESTEELShow@gmail.com. So we can discuss it on the show. We could talk about that right before we start the show about your statements and comments. We want to get you guys involved in the show as much as possible.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, brother, man. So listen, man, enjoy the rest of your day out there. It's sunny. We ain't going to say your location, but it's sunny. You know what I mean? You see where I'm at. It's gloomy.
Sunny and getting hot. So. Yep.
All right, bro, man. Listen, enjoy your day, people. We will be back before the week is out with more content. It's definitely we'll definitely be back. Of course, we'll talk more about that doc series because I think 5 and 6 comes out this week, right?
Yep, 5 and 6 next Sunday, or this Sunday coming up.
This Sunday, we'll definitely be out, people, to give you a breakdown of that. But during this week, if anything comes up with sports, you know me and Jeff are going to be on top of it. And we'll definitely do a show in regards to it. All right, people, thank you for your love and support. Continue to hit us up, hit that like, share, subscribe button, and we'll get back to you before the week is out. Jeff, my brother, I'm going to holler at you, man.
All right, later.
Later, man.